year's quarter 3 Data Jam. I am Kathy Nickelbein, Senior Manager, and along with Cindy Gonzalez and Tiffany Alston, I am thrilled to welcome all of our esteemed guests and team members to our quarter 3 Data Jam. We have an exciting lineup in store for you today, featuring presentations from our SCF program area managers, our specialist coordinators, and center directors. As we have spent countless hours collecting and analyzing, disaggregating this data for you, we are going to show it to you in very visual, colorful ways today. All of this data that you see helps us strengthen and adjust our systems to ensure not only compliance, but also quality. We also use this data to identify professional development needs for our teams and opportunities with community partnerships and so much more. We are so confident you will find the information you are about to hear informative and valuable. First, a couple housekeeping items before we begin. We are recording this presentation, which will be uploaded to the SCF YouTube channel for your viewing pleasure. Also, we would love to see your smiling faces this morning, so we ask that you turn on your cameras, but keep yourself muted the entire presentation. If you have any questions and want to ask questions, please use the chat. Without further ado, I want to introduce Peter, our Data and Quality Improvement Coordinator. Peter, take it away.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the data segment for Data Jam. So Sunrise has made great progress in the previous program year around streamlining data-related tasks across all departments, which assisted in creating more thorough documentation of what we do here at SCF. This is also achieved through creating more opportunities to interact with data across our different teams. Whether it be quantitative or qualitative information, our teams have collected data that contextualizes our understanding of child and family performance outcomes in the program, the internal practices that are used to support program needs, and the perspective and experiences of staff and participants. These data sources contribute to a well-rounded understanding of the current climate surrounding childcare and education in Southern Nevada. The information also helped in identifying areas of opportunity in relation to the protocols, procedures, and ways that we communicate both internally and externally with stakeholders of all kinds. Thanks to the developments in our data processes overall, management has also been able to craft a more detailed narrative of the strengths and challenges that exist for the program. We've also been able to communicate that information in annual documentation, like our 5-year grant and PIR submissions, as well as the reports that we provide to outside parties. Our teams have grown and developed in developing customized data collection tools within formats that are more accessible and give Sunrise access to data that is relevant to our specific needs, goals, and objectives. This depth of detailed data sources allowed for cross-validation of information, development of more distinct action plans, and for distributing deliverables to families and local partners in a way that better represents SCF's mission and vision. There are several connecting goals that will be prioritized over the program year. One of them is that we will focus on creating legacy systems for data tracking so that team members can easily adopt practices around data collection and analysis on different scales. These systems will be made to scale so that aggregated and disaggregated data sets can be acquired by our teams in a way that is easily accessible. Team members will be supported with appropriate guides that continue to educate individuals from different departments on how other departments and groups within SCF interact with data and how it is shared with families and community partners. Another goal would be that surveys and questionnaires that are provided to Sunrise stakeholders on a routine basis will be systematically developed and placed into procedures so that it will be easier for the organization to track and assess the types of data that we receive. Through creating systems and procedures that serve as a foundation for our data collection tools, we can understand how and why our data takes form in specific ways, as well as all the factors that can be adjusted to improve the process and quality of information. Procedurally tracking the types of questions used and the categories of data that are collected will help in creating comprehensive data sets that can be compared year over year. This is especially important as the needs and circumstances of families change over time, and when the narrative guiding Sunrise operations need to adjust according to these shifts in the outcomes. Cross-validation systems will also be integrated to ensure that we are constantly monitoring and auditing our data. External data sources and other internal policies can be used to verify the quality of our data and to determine if it was captured in an ethical and procedurally sound manner. Cross-validation will show if there are patterns in performance outcomes, recurring methods used in the data collection and analysis process, and consistent challenges surrounding our communities. From archival government data to data from local organizations, there's a need for us to develop a system of referencing other information sources so that we can better design our program offerings. As Sunrise data practices develop, its processes will be executed in a more timely and efficient manner, and it will accurately represent Sunrise's status as an operating organization. As you view the goals and objectives that we have for this program year, consider what specific data would be needed for you to contribute to each of these program aspects. Remember that data is connected and there are often relationships that exist between different variables. So do not think that your understanding of a topic is limited to the data set strictly within your service area. Seek out the data that other departments in Sunrise have and think about the ways that it can be integrated alongside the data sets that you work with. They can contextualize and support each other in more ways than you think. So thank you everyone for taking time to listen to this data segment. And now, Carla, could you let us know what's going on with ERSI?
Yes, thank you, Peter. Hello, everybody. My name is Carla Pascasio. I'm the ERSI manager, and ERSI stands for Eligibility, Recruitment, Selection, Enrollment, and Attendance. So we'll be reviewing some of quarter three's data for program year 22 to 23. So the first line graph that you'll see is our early Head Start enrollment. We're funded for 442 slots, and throughout the school year, our line has trended upwards. So we did make efforts to increase enrollment and reach full enrollment. However, we haven't because of staffing challenges. Also in the third quarter, we did go on an enrollment pause so that we can strengthen our internal systems, policies, procedures, and make sure that new team members that were being brought in were properly trained. And so in the bottom left-hand quarter, you'll see quarter three's enrollment, and you will see it for early Head Start Center Base, which were funded for 328 slots, early Head Start Home Base, which were funded for 114, evidence-based home visiting early Head Start, which were funded for 25 slots, and SCF Pre-K, and we're funded for 10 slots. That's a private program, by the way, and Nevada Ready, which were funded for 15 slots. So you'll see throughout the quarter that we did not reach full enrollment for the reasons that I mentioned, but our goal is to be fully enrolled by February 2024 as we're on a full enrollment initiative plan. So we have been making efforts in recruiting to reach full enrollment. So you'll see for quarter three on the right side of the enrollment bar graph, you'll see a pie graph, and you can see that on the online interest forms continues to be our most effective method of recruitment, and that is where families will express their interest in our program. So we get the majority of our families through online interest forms. So just in quarter three alone, we had 268 or 84%. And the second most effective way are our relationships with community partners. And so those are our referrals, and we received 32 just in quarter three. Then we've attended 4 recruitment events in quarter three, and from those recruitment events, we were able to recruit at least 15 families that were placed on our virtual cluster sheet. On the right-hand side, you'll see quarter three's center-based average daily attendance, and our lines trend downwards for the last quarter as we approach the end of the school year. And you'll see Nevada Ready's drop way to the bottom for June and July because that program ends in May. Below is quarter three's home base completed visits, and so you'll see the opposite of what happened in center base. Their line trends upwards, so they had their attendance had increased as we approach the end of the school year for quarter three. And now we will review ERSI's continuous quality improvement goals. So our number one area of opportunity that was identified was for us to increase the promotion of mental health and disability services offered by SCF to families during recruitment and enrollment. So it's found that many families are not aware of the support that they can receive from our mental health and disabilities department. So our plan is to include these resources and program area support offered by SCF during recruitment events, so that 100% of our families upon enrollment in the Early Head Start program will be aware of the resources that we offer and the support that we offer as well. So this is an area of opportunity. Our number two area of opportunity that we found was in transition, the successful transition of Early Head Start children to Head Start Acelero in the community. So that was an area of opportunity, and our plan is to have intentional data sharing every quarter, which we're actually meeting with Acelero every month, but every quarter will be more in-depth data sharing. As well as the program directors will begin revising the current memorandum of understanding that we have with Acelero, so that we can ensure that our Early Head Start children do have priority, so they can be enrolled into Acelero. So that's part of the plan, as it was an area of opportunity. And lastly, we'll make sure that family service workers and the family coach are involved in the meetings and are more involved in assisting families one-on-one with ensuring they have all the documentation they need to submit to Acelero for a smooth transition. So the expected outcome is for at least 25% of families who are interested in transitioning to Acelero Head Start would be able to enroll into their program. And the third area of opportunity was to maintain funded enrollment and to fill any vacancy as soon as possible. So we have been under enrolled, and we're currently on a full enrollment initiative plan. And so emerging leaders and other leadership team members are making efforts to help create a plan to achieve full enrollment. So we have strategic committees that we have created in order to reach the full enrollment by February. So we're confident that as the new school year begins or has begun, our enrollment will increase. The expected outcome was for 70% of funded enrollment to be achieved by August, the new school year. And it doesn't look like that has happened, but we're confident that September and on, the enrollment numbers will only increase. So we have established weekly goals, monthly goals, and are continuing in our full enrollment initiative plan to make sure that team members are equipped so we can all work together to reach full enrollment by February 2024. And that concludes the continuous quality improvement goals and data sharing for ERSI. Lourdes, can you tell us what's going on in education?
I sure can. My name is Lourdes Farfan, and I am currently Family Services Manager and formerly Education Manager. And I will be telling you about education and coaching. The education and coaching program goal is to provide high quality education services to qualified children and families. One of the objectives of our goal is to increase educators' knowledge and understanding of the impact of the positive teacher and child interactions and strength-based relationships. Therefore, increasing the educators, children's, and families' foundation of trust, empathy, connectedness, and equity. We know that the first and most important thing in early education is to build positive relationship with the children and family. During Q2, two of our managers were able to participate in the reliability certification for TPTOS. The pyramid model is a comprehensive multi-tier framework of evidence-based practices that promotes young children's social, emotional, and behavioral development. The emphasis of this framework is to support all children at universal level, thereby decreasing the need of more intensive interventions. The guiding principles of the model includes promoting skills building with enough intensity to affect change, implementing strategies and context of natural occurring routines and environments, and modifying strategies so they are responsive to the cultural and linguistic diversity of our families and children. The goal is to have TPTOs in exploration stages by the end of the first quarter in the school year 23-24. In addition, objectives is that at a minimum, 80% of our educators completes our teaching strategies goal, that integrated reliability certification. Having our teachers complete the process not only help us ensure that the teachers are able to use the web-based assessment as intended and are able to assess the children accurately, but also increases the understanding of the curriculum, observations, and assessment to be able to assess that and implement the curriculum bias-free. Through the first and second quarter, we maintain an average of 80% of our teams being integrated reliable. However, as you can see in our graph, on our third quarter, we fell to 62% of our our teachers being integrated reliable. The drop is due to new hires and seasonal staff resigning. Within the first 30 days, that's when we assign logins for our teachers to start doing their teaching strategies modules. So that's where the drop came off. So on those 30-day, at the 30-day gap. Another of our objectives is that 100% of our children developmental screenings and first educational home visits are completed within the first 45 days of enrollment. We are happy to say that we maintain an average of 95% of all of our ASQs completed with 0 past due. And our first education home visits were about 93% of all visits completed and 7 still pending. And finally, our last objective to help us achieve our program goals lies within the coaching process. This coaching is elevate to the coaching process to ensure those that have been identified or self-identified receive the appropriate level of coaching. We currently have 1 early childhood education ECE coach and 1 trauma-informed care practice coach. Our ECE coach is in the process of building relationships and will begin coaching this fall. And our TICP coach currently is providing intensive coaching to 8 of our teachers. Our coaches also plan on enrolling our early learning outcomes framework, ELAF, developmental needs assessment, early fall, to see where are the most opportunities for coaching. And now we're gonna go to our CQI for education. And we have 3 areas of opportunity. Our first area of opportunity is to increase the number of early childhood education family services professionals. Our objectives are to strengthen the pathway system. We offer more one-on-one group opportunities for CDA candidates, including substitutes and family in the pathway program. Embedding CDA training track for all new hires, implementing development credential courses for family services team members, implementing family development, I'm so sorry. And SCF will provide families with easily accessed resources on compatible programs that best fits our family schedules and needs. Our expected outcome is in the next 5 years, increase the number of quality team members by 100%. Our second opportunity is to begin the installation stages to implementation plan of nurturing and responsive care. Our objectives to introduce TP2s to leadership team who will responsible for implementing that and become trained observers. Observe adult behaviors of the teaching staff towards the children and supporting environments that promote social and emotional development, to create a warm and responsive classroom environment to help improve children's social and emotional skills. Give me 1 second, please.
I'll take over. We're here for area of opportunity number 2. So to create a warm and responsive classroom environment to help improve children's social emotional skills, our expected outcomes are to strengthen our teaching practices and responsiveness of individual teachers. This tool will help monitor the success of quality improvement and relationship building, as well as teachers will implement the strategies of the pyramid model and understand the importance of social emotional competency and how it is critical in the first 5 years of a child's life. Our area of opportunity number 3 is building the capacity of our leadership team. And our objective for this in our action plan is to create a train the trainer series for many, many different things. These are just some of them that we're going to be including. Active supervision, teaching strategies, goal, TSG observations and assessments, tadpoles, which is just for SCF only, quality environments, individual professional development plans. We're going to train, we're going to observe, we're going to give feedback and support, we're going to plan and monitor and do all of those great things. And our expected outcome for this is that our leadership will be more knowledgeable and confident in conducting trainings to team members, and that 100% of our team members will have a clearer understanding of policies and procedures around active supervision. 75% of team members will be more knowledgeable in understanding how TSG goal assessment is important for assessing children's development and how they will use the information to plan instruction with more intention. And that is the education CQI, or continuous quality improvement. And on to Nicole Pobletti for our child data outcomes.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. Sunrise Children's Foundation objective for education was that 85% of all children will meet or exceed the widely held expectations in the 4 developmental domains: social, emotional, physical, language, and cognitive. At the end of each quarter, the education team, center directors, coordinators, and managers collect data pulled from the online assessment tool Teaching Strategies Gold for individual centers and program-wide. The term widely held expectations describes the range of knowledge, skills, and abilities that children of a particular age or class typically demonstrate over a year of life from birth through age 3. These widely held expectations are based on the latest research in early childhood education and are used to help determine if a child's knowledge, skills, and abilities are below, meeting, or exceeding their age or class expected range of knowledge, skills, and abilities. There are 4 checkpoint periods where information is gathered to show the total number of children who are entered in TSG at each checkpoint and the total number of children who are assessed. We also collect data for the total number of children in different subcategories for dual language learners, foster children, children experiencing homelessness, and our children with IFSPs. During the program year 2022-2023, our baseline checkpoint had 108 center-based children entered into TSG. Of that number, 101 were assessed. At the end of winter checkpoint, we had 109 center-based children, and of that total number, 100 center-based children were assessed. During the spring checkpoint, there were 118 center-based children entered, and of that number, 113 children were assessed. And lastly, during our summer checkpoint period, we had 120 children entered. The total number of children assessed was 117. Throughout the program year, our highest enrolled age groups were our 1 to 2-year-olds and 2 to 3-year-olds. By the end of the summer checkpoint, we had 33-year-olds entered, and of that number, all 30 were assessed. The graphs that are displayed show the total number of center-based children who were observed over all age groups and is broken down for each developmental area, showing the comparison between each checkpoint period. Based on the data, we could see that by the end of the school year, the total percentage of children meeting and exceeding the widely held expectations shows that for social emotional, 83% of our center-based children are meeting and exceeding the expectations. For physical, the total percentage was 82%. For language, there was a total of 66%, which is the lowest percentage for all the developmental areas. And for cognitive, we had a total of 83% of children meeting and exceeding the expectations. In comparison to the previous school year, we saw that there was a decrease in the percentage of total number of children who were meeting or exceeding the expectations in cognitive, language, and physical development. While we had more children this school year than previous years, we did not succeed in meeting our goal of 85% of all children will meet or exceed the widely held expectations. Although the percent was low, we managed to increase the percentage for social emotional, which was part of our CQI from previous years. For our subcategories for dual language learners, we had a cumulative number of 26 center-based children whose home language was Spanish. The total number of children who were entered into TSG was 21, and of that number, 18 were assessed. The data that was gathered for Spanish language for our dual language learners shows that towards the end of the program year, more children were falling below the expectations than in previous checkpoints. As you can see in the graph above, only 44% of our dual language learners for Spanish language were at 44%. Language had the highest number of children falling below, with 11 children out of the 18, which is 61% of our dual language learners. For our other subcategories, such as foster and children experiencing homelessness, the number of children who were entered in TSG for foster was 5 children out of 15 of the cumulative number of children enrolled over the program year. Of that number, 5 children were assessed and were meeting in all areas except for language. Our children experiencing homelessness had a total number of 3 children who were entered and assessed out of the cumulative total number of 44 from the entire program year. All 3 children show that they were meeting the expectations in all areas. Now on to home-based data. As we've mentioned in previous data jams, our home-based services begin 30 days after center-based has started their services. Home-based conducts their observations during home visits that are typically scheduled and conducted weekly. They also use and enter any information that the parent or caregivers share with them outside of those visits. We begin in the winter checkpoint to gather child data information. For this checkpoint, home-based started off with a total number of 48 children who were entered in TSG. Of that total number, 24 children were assessed. During the spring checkpoint, the number of children entered into TSG increased to 56, of which 11 children were assessed. You may be asking yourself why the number is so low. There are multiple factors that play a role in that. At the beginning of the school year, there were only a few parent educators who at the time had a higher caseload of children. Another factor is that when we hired more parent educators, the team was newer and in their training process. And another factor, parent educators were scheduling visits, but there were times families had to cancel due to unforeseen reasons. Because parent educators have so many families scheduled every week, it can be challenging to make up the visit and gather enough information. As we move into the summer checkpoint, we see the total number of children entered into TSG was lower at 30, And of that total number, 24 children were assessed. By the end of the year, we had higher number of parent educators not only hired, but who had also gone through the training for TSG inter-rater reliability. By the end of the school year, Homebase had an even total number of children whose home language was English and Spanish. And as you can see from each graph showing the developmental areas, the children were meeting our goal of 85% in cognitive, with the other three areas just falling short at 84% for social, emotional, and language, and 81% for physical. Now let's see what Denzi has to share about family services.
Hello and good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning into Family Services, where we work alongside our families to support them towards achieving family outcomes. My name is Denzi Eusebio, and I'm the Family Services Manager here at Sunrise Children's Foundation, here to share all the exciting things that have happened during quarter 3. Our program goal is that we will provide quality family and community engagement services that promote family well-being, strengthen parenting, parent-child relationships, and supports family engagement and school readiness. Our objective is to increase the amount of family engagement opportunities, either in person and virtually using video and mobile technology for the entire family, being intentional on providing more focused engagement opportunities for our fathers and/or father figures. During quarter 3, the Family Services team conducted post-year interviews with our families. The post-year interviews asked the families more questions pertaining to our program, giving our team members a better understanding of how our program has helped our families and what areas we can strengthen in. At the end of quarter 3, we had a total of 64% of our families who were in an active family partnership agreement. The graphs in the center highlighted in teal reflect the data of our families who were in the goal setting process, with each bar representing each month. At the end of quarter 3, 53% of our families were in the goal setting process. There were 181 goals set within varying family outcomes. There was a total of 47 education goals, 38 parenting goals, 2 housing goals, and 115 goals that were specific to each family's needs in the other category. Within these goals, various family outcomes were established. There were 17 goals that pertained to families as advocates and leaders, 37 as families as learners, and 65 family well-being. To the very right is the data from our parenting curriculum, Ready Rosie. Ready Rosie is our parenting curriculum that builds on parents' knowledge and uses the power of mobile technology to empower families and schools to work together to promote school readiness. Our family service workers sent out video playlists to support family outcomes weekly. In addition, in efforts to promote more family engagement, our team members can comment on videos and engage in conversations with our families. The pie chart here shows the family outcomes from each video playlist that were sent out to our families. During quarter 3, there was a total of 461 family outcome opportunities for family well-being, 1,368 for positive parent-child relationships, 1,367 for families as lifelong educators, and 1,371 family outcome opportunities for families as learners. Because Ready Rosie is tailored to fostering family engagement through a virtual platform, multiple caregivers have the ability to register onto Ready Rosie in efforts to stay engaged with their child's learning experience. Various caregivers have registered that have registered our grandparents and aunts, uncles. There was a total of 1,173 videos that were viewed by our families, with 202 registered users. It has definitely been an exciting year watching the amount of family engagement increase throughout this program year. That sums everything for us up here. Until next time, everyone, thank you so much for tuning into Family Services.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Victoria Hernandez, and this morning we will be sharing with you the Family Services CQI Continuous Quality Improvement. So for our area of opportunity number 1, it is pre-K transitions. Our objectives and action plan for this upcoming school year is to ensure transitions are being conducted in a timely manner, utilizing a tracking system to monitor transition process and end results. Family advocates will create monthly reports to showcase transitions. And we have started monthly updates just to ensure that we are constantly monitoring our transitions with our family. And also we are all in the loop. Expected outcomes. Team members will be able to track and monitor transitions for each child to better support families in locating a transition home. Some of the transition home include Acelero, CCSD, Child Find, Las Vegas Urban League, SCF Pre-K, Nevada Ready, and also childcare of the family's choice. Team members will be able to track each child who is currently in transition, who has transitioned out, and where they transition to in efforts to provide continuing support for families after they transition out of Sunrise Children's Foundation.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Annalisa Bundra, and I'm one of the family advocates in our Family Services Department. Our second opportunity is going to be to strengthen resources and referral processes within our organization to monitor and to track progress and results for each resources and referral provided to our families. The objectives and the action plan for this is to, the resources provided to the families will be documented in the Child Plus database, along with the actual resource information as an attachment for data purposes. Along with that, the referrals provided to the families will be documented on the Child-based database, Child Plus database, along with the specific information on the referral agency. Our team members will utilize Child Plus database to track progress and referrals provided. And then our expected outcomes are that the managers and the team members will be able to document, to track, and to monitor each resource and referral sent to the families, gathering accurate data pertaining to each resource and referral for follow-up.
Our area of opportunity number 3 is to increase community partnerships to facilitate access to additional mental health resources and services. Our objectives for this action plan include update resource finder and reach out to the community to increase mental health resources. This is a task that our new family advocates, Quinn and Patricia, have been supporting us into reaching out to the community referrals to see what is still available and what the resources are for our families. Expected outcomes. Team members will have more knowledge of our community partnerships to resource, and we will be able to share with families as needed and also document in a timely manner to ensure which are resources, community referrals, and needs identified for our families. Thank you very much. That concludes our Family Services CQI. Take it away, Zulay, sharing our health and safety nutrition updates. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicki. Hi, my name is Zulay Diaz Placencia. I am our health coordinator, and I will be sharing our Q3 health, safety, and nutrition data with you today. Our program goal has been to optimize the health, safety, and well-being of all enrolled children and families. Throughout the 22-23 program year, we had 2 primary goals to help us meet this objective. First, to reach 90% of enrolled children who are up to date on their immunizations, and second, to reach 85% up to date on EPS-DT, which is a schedule for early and periodic screening, diagnosis, and treatment. At the end of Q1, we were at 83% up to date on EPS-DT screeners, 2% shy of our goal, and 93% up to date on immunization status, exceeding our goal by 3%. By the end of Q2, percentages had decreased in both requirements and again in Q3. During Q3, we saw our largest decrease in children enrolled with up-to-date immunization status, beginning the quarter at 80% up to date and ending at 88% up to date, only 2% shy of our 90% goal. EHS center-based and SCF Pre-K programs both ended the program year above the 90% goal, whereas Nevada Ready and Home-Based ended below the program goal. At the end of Q3, we also saw our lowest percentage with up-to-date on EPS-DT for children enrolled across all programs. However, SCF's program year average was 79% up to date on EPS-DT, 6% short of our 85% goal. The health team will continue to provide monthly health status updates to include both upcoming past due well baby checks and immunizations, provide our well baby check forms to doctors' offices, and parents and investigate on-site partnership opportunities and revisit health forms for all team members to use. In addition, we will ensure team members provide health status notices to families in a timely manner and remain in communication regarding status updates and when experiencing challenges, and will continue to provide resources and educate parents on the importance of immunizations and remaining up to date on Nevada state requirements. Another important component of our program is the ability to provide high quality nutritious meals, which includes a variety of fruits and vegetables, more whole grains, and less added sugars and saturated fats to the children enrolled in our center-based programs. SCF partners with Child and Adult Care Food Program, CACFP, which sets parameters for reimbursement of eligible meals and snacks served to children as part of their regular daily care. CACFP programs must make reasonable meal and snack substitutions with consideration of individual nutritional and special dietary needs and accommodating of feeding abilities for children with disabilities. In Q1, we provided approximately 15,216 claimable meals and 19,885 claimable meals in Q2. In Q3, there was a total of 19,138 claimed meals, over 67 operating days, approximately 258 claimed meals per day. This is a decrease from Q2 of 52 meals per day. Cumulatively, throughout the 22-23 program year, 52,272 meals were claimed across programs, with Q2 having the most claimable meals at the lowest number of operating days. Contributing factors to the changes in claimed meals is directly related to changes in enrollment, as Nevada Ready program year ended in May 2023, and no meals were claimed in June or July. The number of claimable meals will continue to increase when enrollment of in-person children returns to full capacity. Now let's hear more about disabilities and mental health.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Zule, for updating us on all things health and nutrition. I am Angela Watlington, and I am the Health and Disability Services Manager for Sunrise. Throughout the program year, we continually focus on optimizing the health, safety, and well-being of all children by offering a variety of additional ongoing supports to both team members and children and their families to ensure the full participation in program services and activities for enrolled children with disabilities, including but not limited to those who are eligible for services under IDEA, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. To achieve and maintain the goal of 10% funded enrollment, SCF requires at minimum 44 children enrolled who are eligible for Part C or Part B services under IDEA. Throughout Q3, we maintained approximately 7.5% of our funded enrollment goal, ending the program year with 33 children enrolled eligible for services under IDEA. In comparison, SCF's actual enrollment for children with IFSPs or TPs averaged 17.3% throughout the program year, surpassing our 10% goal. Cumulatively, in the 22-23 program year, we had 51 participants enrolled in EHS programs and 2 enrolled in EBHV, and a total of 19 are eligible to return for the 23-24 program year. In Q1, we began including in our data the number of open and closed concerns for children receiving internal support for disabilities and mental health. Throughout the program year, there were approximately 45 open concerns, of which 24 or 53% were closed. Of the 21 concerns still open at the end of July, 11 children are eligible to return in the 23-24 program year. One of the ways concerns are identified is by team members' usage of the Request for Internal Observation, or RIO, a substantial part of how we ensure support is being provided to our educators and children with suspected needs or behavioral challenges. This system is utilized by SCF team members to initiate the supportive process involving disabilities and mental health to identify children in the program that are experiencing developmental delays or behavioral challenges. Cumulatively, for the 22-23 program year, we have received a total of 34 RIOs, of which 4 for parent support and 1 for a child enrolled in Nevada Ready, and 12 resulted in external referrals. RIOs received are tracked by different indicators, including age, ethnicity, gender, and area of concern. Area of concern is closely monitored to identify developmental trends and areas of opportunities to support ongoing professional development and resources available to families. At the end of the 22-23 program year, approximately 20% of the total RIOs received were regarding challenging behaviors, whereas 17% were regarding social emotional concerns, for a total of 44% related to mental health and well-being. Additionally, 44% were related to communication, with 7% for dual language learners. Throughout the 22-23 program year, a total of 44 referrals were initiated to external partners, with 14 complete in Q1, 20 complete in Q2, and 10 complete in Q3. A total of 15 referrals were submitted to Nevada Early Intervention Services, NEIS, of which 8 children were found eligible for an IFSP under Part C, 4 were pending status updates, and 2 did not qualify for services, and 1 was re-referred to Part B due to untimely evaluation. A total of 27 referrals were submitted to Clark County School District, Child Find, our local education agency, of which 16 were found eligible for an IEP under Part B, 6 were pending evaluations or status updates, and 4 did not qualify for services, and 1 declined further evaluation. Both of the children referred to mental health childcare consultation, unenrolled from the program prior to evaluation, outcome, or completion of the referral. SCF works with families to ensure children can participate in all program activities regardless of any condition or diagnosis. Special care plan meetings address the specific needs and necessary accommodations of an individual and their family through planning and coordination alongside appropriate SCF team members and efforts to support children in improving their developmental, behavioral, and growth outcomes. At the end of the 22-23 program year, a total of 22 disability care plans were complete, ending the year at approximately 55% compared to our 85% goal. Challenges with scheduling and coordination remained in Q3, and no special care plan meetings were complete compared to the 13 in Q1 and 9 in Q2. Additionally, at the end of Q3, there were 18 children who were pending a DCP meeting, with 9 needing to be scheduled, but had challenges with coordination and scheduling. 4 were pending documentation, and 5 requiring additional follow-up for support with service provisions. With the renew and closeout of our 21-22 PSA goals, the recommendations outlined in our 22-23 CNA, and the general review of our health and disability systems, the health team will focus on the following continuous quality improvement objectives in the 23-24 program year. Our first area of opportunity: strengthen collaborative community partnerships and increase the number of resources and services available to families and team members related to health, nutrition, disabilities, and mental health. Our second area of opportunity: to strengthen internal auditing and monitoring systems related to health and disability services area. And our third area of opportunity: strengthen SCF and CCP team members' knowledge and understanding of mental health as it relates to the implementation of the pyramid model for supporting social emotional competence in infants and young children. The health services team is excited to continue to collaborate and work towards enhancing both internal and external systems within the service area with innovative ideas, which will streamline processes and increase sustainability as we work towards full enrollment and supporting the health, safety, and well-being of all children enrolled. The health team will work to strengthen and create opportunities for emerging leaders and the ECE field, while also strengthening collaborative partnerships and increasing the number and quality of services and resources available, with an emphasized focus on foster families experiencing homelessness, and individual healthcare needs. Health, in collaboration with the Workforce and Professional Development MOU Committee and the FEI Community Partnership Committee, will engage in opportunities for networking and developing new partnerships in relation to oral health, immunization, mobile clinics, expectant families, and an emphasized focus on mental health providers and agencies responsible for implementing IDEA to determine a child's eligibility. Increasing and strengthening our community partnerships is also expected to improve enrolled children's EPSDT and immunization up-to-date status, and improve the number of quality and quality of community-based health referrals. By strengthening internal systems, the health team expects to increase team member understanding and implementation of policies and procedures, and to develop sustainable systems to support optimizing the health, safety, and well-being of all children enrolled. We will continue to review and revise policies and procedures pertaining to specific tools and processes utilized by the health and disabilities program areas, with considerations for expanding into the family child care centers and requirements for training new and existing team members. We will also work to increase internal communication and collaborative processes in support of strengthening and creating opportunities for emerging leaders and the ECE field as it relates to mental health and well-being and social emotional development. Continued focus on mental health and well-being will remain a priority in the new program year as we continue to develop frameworks and sustainable systems for training and professional development to increase team member capacity and ability to support children's social emotional development with a trauma-informed lens. Trina, can you let us know what's happening in home visiting?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Angela. So during the third quarter, the home visiting team focused on providing high-quality education and services to children, families, and expectant mothers. Parent educators provided services through home visits and socializations. Home visits are weekly and socializations are biweekly. Parent educators provided activities using the Parents as Teachers curriculum and Ready Rosie curriculum to support child development and resources. Resources are also provided to provide families with support with family well-being and economic mobility. The home visiting attendance is shown here, and the attendance was affected by illnesses and staffing. As you can see here, there was a dip in May and June due to some staffing challenges, but has begun to increase as we moved into July and August. The attendance reasons were typically no-shows by families, staff cancellations, and family cancellations. However, due to staff increasing, families are developing relationships, and attendance is increasing. There are currently 7 parent educators and only 2 vacancies in Las Vegas. The data below shows the team credentials. The data member credentials shown below show low percentages of credentialed staff, but this is due to most team members being new. During the next program quarter, we will be supporting team members with professional development and weekly meetings that will support the team's credentialing. As I mentioned earlier, home base also supports expecting families. There were a total of 22 expecting families this program year in home base. Of the mothers, 4 were high risk for EHS and 4 for EBHV. Teen pregnancies were 2 in EBHV, mental health interventions 2 for each programs, and substance abuse treatment education was 2 for early Head Start and 1 for EBHV. Turnover for our expectant mothers was 11 for EBHV. Well, not 11 turnover, but 11 remained in the program and received services during their infant's birth. And then for there were only 1 in EBHV who terminated before their child's birth. Below, there also shows what services were provided to the families, and then how many of them had health care at enrollment and at the end of enrollment. Home base provides education to the families regarding breastfeeding, fetal development, effects of drug and alcohol, and supports families who are transitioning after the birth of their newborn. Thanks for your time today, and now let's hear what's happening in Hippie.
Hello, I'm Terry Meehan, the HIPPY Program Manager.
And I'm Teresa Lucero, Laughlin's Assistant Center Director.
HIPPY, which stands for Home Instruction for Parents of Preschool Youngsters, serves families of children who are 2 to 5 years of age in Clark and Nye County. The Sunrise HIPPY Strategic Plan builds upon the program's current strengths and focuses our energies and resources in 3 key areas related to family and community outreach. Those areas are foster school readiness and achievement through support of parents and primary caregivers in their role as their child's first and most important teacher, promote family engagement and well-being, and create a healthy and supportive work environment for team members. The plan is built upon 5 strategic goals, including school readiness and achievement, parent, family, and community engagement, family health, family economic self-sufficiency, team member wellness, and professional development. Each strategic goal aligns with the Sunrise Children's Foundation's mission of helping children fulfill their potential of safe, healthy, and educated lives. HIPPY program goals and objectives align with the HIPPY accreditation standards and benchmarks from evidence-based home visiting, otherwise known as EBHV. In the first 3 quarters of 2022 to 2023 program year, 42 families were served by the HIPPY program. 51 families were served by the HIPPY program. These figures were based on cumulative enrollment. During this time, the HIPPY program completed 556 home visits and 208 supplemental visits. 69% of families completed scheduled visits each week. The objective for attendance is that 80% of families complete scheduled home visits each week. The Q3 HIPPY CQI goal was that 80% of HIPPY families complete 30 HIPPY packets by the end of Q3. The HIPPY program unfortunately fell short of this goal, as 41% of families completed 30 packets by the end of Q3, putting them on track to finish all packets by the end of the program year. The annual objective, again, for completion is that 80% of families will complete 30 packets by the end of the program year. This will continue to be the CQI focus for the coming year. The objective for family daily reading is that 100% of families read daily with their HIPPY enrolled child. In the first 3 quarters, 81% of families read daily with their HIPPY enrolled child. 84% received an initial developmental screening, with a total of 175 developmental screenings completed for children by the end of the year. The objective is that 100% of children will receive an initial screening annually. In addition, 58% of primary caregiver health assessments were offered to families to support in areas of depression, substance use, intimate partner violence, and parent-child interaction. The HIPPY program continued to offer community resources to families at each home visit, for a total of 357 unique resources offered. Teresa, please tell us about our efforts to support team member wellness and professional development.
Team member wellness and support continues to be an important area of focus this quarter. HIPPY tracks stress levels weekly, with 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. The average quarterly stress rating for the HIPPY team was a 2.2 out of 5. The objective is that the HIPPY team's annual stress rating is less than 2. Stress factors were discussed during reflective supervision, and self-care was a topic in nearly every weekly meeting, with self-care tips sent out every Wednesday to the team. To further support team members, parent educators received an average of 1.4 hours of reflective supervision from a supervisor each month. The objective for reflective supervision is that the average hours of reflective supervision per home visit per month is 1.5 or greater. For professional development, the objective is that 100% of home visitors achieve certification in 3 teaching strategies gold age groups within 3 months of hire. By the end of Q3, 4 out of 8 home visitors were inter-rater reliable in 3 age groups, and 4 team members were in training. I hope that my brief presentation has given you insight into the impact that the HIPPY program is having on children and families in Southern Nevada. Thank you for your time today. I also want to extend a special thanks to the Hippie Team home visitors, without whom none of this would be possible, and also the management and executive teams here at Sunrise. Together, we can achieve the SCF mission of helping children fulfill their potential of safe, healthy, and educated lives. Now, let's hear about what's happening at SCF Pre-K and Nevada Ready here at Sunrise.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Claudia Govea. I am the Center Director for West Campus. Today, I will be talking about our SCF Pre-K classroom and our Nevada Ready program. We will start by looking into our SCF Pre-K classroom. We currently have one classroom here at West Campus. We currently can enroll 10 children in that classroom. The ages in that classroom range from 3 years old to 5 years old. During the program year of 2022-2023, we had a total of 10 children enrolled in the classroom. We did have one child at the end of the program year and sooner in the year. Towards that end of this checkpoint, we had a total of 9 children ending the program year in July. The graph shows 2 different data sets. One graph shows the data set for the children that are 3 years old. The other graph shows the data set for the children that are 4 years old. During this checkpoint, we did have 4 children falling below the expectations. The other graph showed we did have 4 children falling below the expectations under social emotional. For those 4 children this program year, staff are continuing to work with them during their social emotional development. Another area of focus for this school year based on the data is physical development. Staff will work on promoting activities in this data set since we did have 4 children that were falling below the expectations. Lastly, we will look into the data set for physical development. We did have a few children fall below that area of development as well. We would continue to work with activities this program year to promote those physical development. We did see an increasement of falling below the expectations under the data set for cognitive development, which staff for this program year will continue to work with activities and milestones with the families to promote that cognitive development. Staff are using the data to promote activities for this program school year. Our SCF Pre-K program during this checkpoint did have a lot of absences occurring due to families taking vacation, summertime, and having children that were enrolled in siblings and CCSD. We continue to work and promote attendance, especially towards the end of the program year. Now let's take a look at our Nevada Ready program. Our Nevada Ready program currently only has one classroom here at West Campus. We currently can enroll 15 children in that classroom. In this classroom, all children must be 4 years old by August 1st to be enrolled. This classroom gets our children ready for kindergarten. Our Nevada Ready program year ended on May 31st, 2023 this school year, with 8 children being enrolled in the classroom. In the data set above for the observations, you will see that the 3 periods for the program year. Period 3 is our end of the year data. We ended with a 65% of observations. Our goal for each period is to reach 100% of observations. Based on our data, we did miss our goal by 35%. This year, our focus is to complete at 100% for each period. During the end of the school year, we did see our attendance decrease as well due to families taking vacation or siblings being out of school for the summertime. For this program year, we will continue to promote attendance. Now let's take a look into the next data set, which is our Brigance data set. Nevada Ready does continue to use Brigance screenings. We conduct screening twice a year in the program year. The first screening is done within the 45 days of enrollment. The second screening is done within the 30 days of exit date. For the program year 2022-2023, we had 8 children complete the exit screenings. As you see from our data set, we did have 1 child fall below the screenings due to attendance. As I mentioned before, on our focus for the program year, for both programs, it's promoting attendance as an important factor in helping children meet their milestones. This concludes our data for SCF Pre-K and Nevada Ready. Thank you for listening. Now let's take a look into in-kind.
Thank you, Claudia. Kathy Nickelbein here to talk to you about in-kind and family engagement. In-kind activities are a crucial part of each child's early Head Start experience as they extend beyond the classroom and home visits. These activities include things parents do with their children every day. Because parents are their children's primary teachers, in-kind provides an opportunity for parents to help their child learn, increase school readiness skills, and establish strong connections between home and school. It also allows them to earn in-kind for the program, as in-kind hours equal federal dollars to help our program run. In-kind contributions enable us to remain fully funded and help parents realize all the things they can do for their child, which enhances their parenting skills. Although we made significant progress with our data collection system for in-kind this year, we discovered that it wasn't giving us all the data we were looking for, and we were not able to collect the in-kind hours as we expected. Additionally, it was reported by families the system was not as user-friendly as anticipated and posed a challenge for families who may not have access to technology. We're focusing on enhancing our system and enhancing and rolling out an updated version this fall. Our goal is to collect 65,000 parent volunteer hours a year, which is about 20 minutes a day per child or 3 hours a week. And in total for the 22-23 program year, our total was 793.5 hours. All right, now moving on to our community impact goals. Our community impact goals were designed to have the greatest impact for Clark County's most vulnerable populations. By leveraging data and insights from our annual program self-assessment, our updated community needs assessment, and our program improvement plans like the full enrollment initiative, we crafted our community impact goals. Our team will consistently monitor and analyze program data to ensure we remain on track and make necessary adjustments throughout the next few years. To demonstrate our influence on the community, we plan to include our community impact goals and objectives in our grant application and annual updates moving forward. This first goal is to increase program options and access to high-quality childcare services throughout Clark County. Our measurable objective number 1 is to expand early Head Start services into Mesquite, Nevada, establishing 2 early Head Start classrooms and offering home visit services to 11 families. Our expected outcome is to provide center-based services to 16 families and 2 established and operating EHS classrooms and be offering home visiting services to 11 families by the end of 2028. Our measurable objective number 2 is to expand early Head Start services into Mesquite, Nevada, establishing 2 EHS classrooms and offering home visits services to 11 families by the end of 2028. Our measurable objective number 3 is to increase the number of enrolled children in early Head Start through family child care FCC providers by 50% by the middle of the 2025-2026 program year and 100% by the end of the 2028 grant period. Our expected outcome for this we will be well established with 6 family child care FCC providers providing EHS services to 24 children. The next goal is to provide and increase services and opportunities to historically marginalized populations, which include the Black, Latino, Indigenous, and Native American, Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, and other people of color, children experiencing homelessness, children in foster care or kinship care, children with disabilities, and children who are dual language learners. Our measurable objective number 1 is to develop and support partnerships with community partners in efforts to develop transitional childcare for families experiencing homelessness. Measurable objective number 2 is to increase presence and participation in a variety of community and state associations and alliances, with our expected outcomes to be increase the number of families from minority backgrounds receiving services in the next 5 years, foster new partnerships within the community, cultivate an anti-bias and nurturing environment for children, families, and program team members, and increase resources, opportunities, systems, policies, and support for all providers, staff, and families to reach their highest level of life potential. And the next goal is to increase our workforce and leadership opportunities within the community. Our measurable objective for this is to develop and increase partnerships with various higher education entities, high school pathways programs, and state and privately funded workforce training programs to bridge workforce and educational gaps within the state. Our expected outcome is to increase workforce and growth opportunities for middle management, increase knowledge and confidence in the career field, an increased number of degreed and or credentialed team members throughout the community. And that concludes part 1 of our data jam. Again, we want to thank all of our esteemed guests and team members for joining us, and hope that everyone was able to gain more knowledge and understanding of our program area goals and objectives. All guests are invited to stay and continue on with us, but are excused, and we wish you a beautiful day. And since it's Friday, a great weekend as well. For all SCF CCP team members who have joined us, please hang tight. We're going to take about a 10-minute brain break, let all the facilitators and presenters take a minute, catch their breath, and we're going to be back with interactive data activities. We're going to pause the recording so that we can get it up onto our website as soon as possible. So we'll see you back. Everybody hang tight. 10 minutes. See you then.